From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning and a big early morning of LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus recon of 2021. Done deal. The recon procedure has passed, and away we go. In this recording about your fourth stimulus check update 2021, we'll go over those monthly stimulus checks and why the Democrats are pushing to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal. It's in the books. And what does this mean for you? It means $3.5 trillion of checks are coming off the beach and coming into your bank account. I'll go over all the deliciousness in this recording. Then we cut to the next step, which is recon substantive. That didn't just start yesterday or this week, has been underway for a long time. I have those details and more as a big early mornings broadcast starts right now, direct from Santa Monica, because the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and this is Early Mornings LA. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day here in Southern California. And the beach and the waves are gorgeous in Santa Monica. And boy, is that fourth stimulus recon procedural looking beautiful as well. In this recording, we'll go over those monthly stimulus checks that the Democrats want you to have. Then we cut to the recon. A done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you and the American people. The biggest single payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. I'll go over why this is incredible great news. Then we cut to the voting process for recon substantive. We'll go over the fifth stimulus as well. But meantime, the talk of the land is also those new LALATE alerts. It's free. It's at news.la.com/alerts, and thousands have signed up. Totally free. Watch for that confirmation email in potentially your spam folder or your promotions folder in Gmail, and hit that subscribe button, and away we go. And this is Early Mornings LA, live in the morning, then taped in the afternoons. But boy, what a day it is. Welcome to LA, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week, financial news channel in America. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto. That's playing right on this channel. Then Mornings LA, live on air at 9 a.m. Mornings Crypto at 9:45, and then noontime at 11 a.m. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. The link to join is under this video. All right, let's get to those monthly stimulus checks. House versus Senate, Senate versus House. A lot more of those members of Congress are talking about it. They're all talking about these checks. Let's go over what they're talking about and the amounts they're referring to. House Ways and Means, referring to a stimulus check that they want in the fourth stimulus package. They write the president that there needs to be a reoccurring monthly stimulus check. They don't say the amount, but they say monthly. The American petition, signed by nearly 3 million Americans, is saying $2,000 monthly stimulus checks. And guess what? It's working, because now AOC and Omar are writing the president saying you need a monthly $2,000 stimulus check. And then we have Senators Warren, Sanders, and Wyden writing the president as well, saying we need a monthly stimulus check. And then hundreds and hundreds of House members writing the president and putting into bill format the House bill. $1,000 a month after the first month of $2,000, pandemic plus 1 year monthly stimulus checks, which would amount to more than 12 checks, which would be more than $13,000. And I think you have an opinion. Vote House or Senate, House or Senate. Jump in the live chat right now and tell me where you're tuning in from this beautiful early mornings. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats represent that you'll get a fourth stimulus check, single individual, if you make less than $75,000. Marry a couple, $150,000 less. Democrats represent you get a fourth stimulus check, double it. Family of four, Democrats represent you get a fourth stimulus check, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits, Democrats represent you get a fourth stimulus check. It's not taxable. It's not income. And the fourth stimulus check would be the same amount for everyone across the board. And finally, it's not a waivable check. So if you do see the check stumbling out of the Calcino after too many $12 ice creams, hi, check. Hello, LA. I see two of you. I had too much ice cream. That's good, out check, so long as you're reoccurring. You can see as many as me of you as you want. In the second half of this video, we'll go over the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks now confirmed and coming to the American people that are generally application-based. It's all great news for you because if you're a Purple Hawk, you know how to rock this. I have all the incredible great news. Oh boy, it is wonderful. Then in the third part of this video, we'll go over the next step, the recon subsive, which didn't just start this week. I'll have all the details and what the president's doing about this as well. It's all on Early Mornings LA. But first, let's get a pen and paper ready because it's time to get you some big money across the board. We get some rent, utilities, food, internet, and mortgage assistance. And boy, Purple Hawks, you have been killing it. And if you see what's happened the last 2 days is that the numbers are going up every few days. Each item, viewers are getting more money every few days. So when we look at the details, we see them in the messages that I'm getting. If you have a success story, send me a private message on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Johnny tells me that he got $10,000 for EIDL, $1,800 for that tax refund check, $9,000 for utilities, and $21,000 for rent. Wow. Those are big numbers. Those are big numbers on the high end. We had the day before an incredible success story coming in from Robert, who says, I want to thank you, LA, because I got approved for $18,000 for rent, $16,000 for SNAP, and $7,000 for utilities. Great job. Keep doing your wonderful job and helping other people. God bless you. I'm a member. I go by Dread. Been following you since the beginning of the pandemic. My name is Robert. And again, thank you. Well, thank you, Robert, for watching. So let's go over those monies that the viewers are getting. And boy, they are incredible. When we look at the money for rent, viewers are now getting far in excess of $20,000. You just saw Johnny, who came in at over $20,000. And there are the numbers right there. Wow. Purple Hawks killing it. If you haven't become a member, the link is under the video. Elizabeth, $27,000 for rent. Mark, $25,000 for rent. Nancy, $24,000 for rent. Richard, $22,000 for rent. And Nisi, $20,000 for rent. When we talk about utilities, Cecilia got $1,200 for HEAP. That's a heap. Well, here we go. Oh, and Johnny. Remember Johnny? He just got $9,000. Bam. So Johnny's on the high end. Yeah, Nancy's at 7, Mark's at 6,500, Angela's 5,000, and Johnny yesterday getting 9,000. So the numbers are going bigger across the board. We had an enormous number coming in from Robert on Snap. So let's look at Snap numbers. Bam. Yeah, Robert is 16,000. So he's on the high end as well. Louis, 18,000. John, 10 to 12,000. And Nancy, $5,000. Nancy got to the Triple Crown. Can we see the Triple Crown? Oh my goodness. Nancy getting $32,000 from this channel for 3 items. Rent, utilities, and Snap. Nisi, $23,000 for 3 items. And Mark, $32,000 for... 2 items? 2 items? Mark, how did you get my graphic? I'll tell you what happened with Mark. I love his story. 3 wonderful things happened to Mark. Number 1, on camera for 5 days, I said to Mark, go get the third item. The third item is Snap, and it's a Snap to get because it's very easy. And so what did Mark do? In less than 5 days, he got Snap. Oh my goodness. Incredible. Great job, Mark. Then he told his neighbor, hey, watch this kid, LALATE. He's the real deal. People are getting big sums of money. And what did Mark's neighbor get? $20,000 of rent in less than 5 days. Oh my goodness. And finally, Mark got his Snap. And how much do you think Mark got for Snap? He got a lot. $19,000, bringing his grand total to $50,500. And we are killing it. We continue to kill it. And boy, the sky is the limit as Lorraine gets over $105,000. And this is LA. This is what we've been doing since day one. In spring of last year, EIDL alone, applications for loans were stalled. People had applied and their applications were not getting approved. So I launched this channel to help viewers. And on camera and off camera, when we had 10 subscribers, I did applications through the night, helping get people approved on camera and off camera, getting 10 a day approved at $150,000 a pop, $25 million of EIDL loans approved because of this channel, saving people's homes, their employees' homes, and their families' homes. But boy, then second stimulus was not coming in December 2020. So you needed money. And I stepped forward and I got viewers $250,000 for rent, saving everything across the board. Tyrone and his family got $15,000 for rent, paying for his rent from December to the new year. But now you're killing it better and bigger than ever before because you saw what's happening with these numbers. Viewers are getting bigger numbers than we've ever seen right now. So get that pen and paper ready. If you just found this channel, welcome, subscribe. And if you've been this subscriber and you've not gotten your sums of money before, today's your day. I'm going to show you some introductory remarks, starting 1. I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to. So reach out to all 6. If one says no, keep on pushing. That's the first thing. Number 2, each place has different eligibility. So if one says no, don't worry, reach out to the next. Then each place has their own pot of money. Who worries if one says no, reach out to the next. Third, every state has the same allotment from the federal government. The government gave the same amount to every state based upon the number of residents in the state. So don't worry if you think your state doesn't pay out money because of it's red or blue. Untrue. Same amount of money across the board. And finally, listen to the keywords I say in this video. It really helps get people approved. And finally, do not include new disqualifications in the analysis. They don't give people money if they have surfboards on set. Untrue. All right, here you go. Here are the places you reach out to: your city hall, your city house authority; your state hall, your state housing authority; your county hall. Let me do that again. Your city hall, your city housing authority; your county hall, your county housing authority; and your state hall and your state housing authority. And the keywords are going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, rent or mortgage utility or assistance because of COVID. You don't say words they don't know, like stimulus or Michatini. Michatini? No, I don't want that. And there you go. Congratulations, Tim and Linda, who got this wonderful pot of money. If you got money for rent or SNAP, post in the live chat right now. The next pot of the money is the money for SNAP. Boy, incredible great news. You saw the opening remarks of those big numbers coming in for SNAP. Mark got $19,000 for SNAP. Louis got $18,000. And whoa, Lynn Glenn got it for herself, her son, and her mom, and Gail got it as well. What is SNAP? It is money for food. How do you get it? Department of Agriculture. Eligibility is easier than a stimulus check. Why would you not get it? And how much does it pay? A lot. But if you heard the breaking news on this channel on Monday last week, oh boy. If it happens, I'm the first to have it. And the breaking news was the following: that effective October, everyone's SNAP benefits are going up automatically, an average of 25% lifetime. Oh my goodness. So yes, Mark's going from 19,000 to 25,000 approximately annualized. Wow. If you have a success story for SNAP, post in the live chat right now. The next pile of money is the refund check coming back from your state due to overpayment and unemployment benefits. Boy, this is great news. This is where the computer error caused you to get extra benefits. Well, it's now your money. It was their fault they didn't upgrade from Windows 1910 to Windows 1920. They're still using the stone keyboard. They need to upgrade to the wooden keyboard. The plexiglass keyboard from the 1920s. There we go. And if you got this money as well, post in the live chat. One viewer got 3,000, another viewer got 5,000. The last spot of the money is the refund check coming back from IRS. Margaret got it, Cod got it, and Michael got it. And guess what? The numbers are going bigger on bold on this one. Some viewers are getting 1,200, 1,400, but a nice viewer over the weekend on Instagram sent me a message. She's saying she got over $2,000. More about that second, but here's a personal message. If you're in the live chat and you've not posted success stories, please do. Because when you do, you inspire other people to pick up the phone and get these sums of money. A lot of people just need that inspiration. And then suddenly we now see that people are getting sums of money that we never thought possible. We have Larry Maui, who never heard of SNAP until he found this channel, and now he's getting $500 lifetime a month because of me. We have a lot of people who thought this is just a few $100s. Now they're inspired to get those sums of money. Art Sullivan and Nisi, two wonderful viewers of this channel, got 3 items, inspiring countless people to get 3 items, and now we have Johnny getting 4 items. So pick up the phone, call today, get that money, and post your success stories in live chat so you inspire other people as well. Meantime, when is those unemployment benefits coming and how much? They're coming by direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. And can you track it? Yeah, 70% of the time you can. Go to irs.gov and do a transcript search. And it'll reveal the taxes you paid and the tax return you filed. And it'll reveal stuff like the refund check and when it may be coming. Finally, it'll reveal stuff you wish you had never seen. Like the ingredient list on the Michatini. Oh, I just don't want to see that. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the second part of your 4 stimulus check update of 2021, starting right now. Deal done. Recon procedural is done. I had told you the recon procedural was a quick vote. In fact, I called it a blink of an eye. I called it a ceremonial vote, and it was. It took it all of 10 seconds to pass it on Tuesday, meaning now we slide right into recon substantive. $3.5 trillion of checks now are confirmed and guaranteed coming to the American people. The recon now pass means that the recon will be done. The recon will have a price tag of $3.5 trillion, and those $3.5 trillion will be checks for you and the American people. Previous stimulus packages, this small. This one, this big. Previous stimulus packages, 80% for corporations. This one, all for you. More about this in the final 15 minutes of this video. Stay at the very end. But how do we get to this wonderful spot? From the wonderful idea of taking roads and bridges out of the recon. A conservative publication confirms my reporting. The higher the price tag was in the recon before, the harder it was to pass. There you go. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending in the recon, put in the bipartisan roads and bridges, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable. There you go. How do we get to the spot? Well, we got to this spot by the Democrats meeting before they started the recon. Over the last week or 2 weeks, you had heard me say, the recon procedure is going to pass. It's a blink of an eye because they already agreed upon this before they started. Before they started, all the Democrats had met and said, do you agree to do a recon? I do. $3.5 trillion price tag? I do. Done. And so that was what they wanted, and they got that done. The progressives have met with the White House, like Ilhan Omar and Richie Torres, and said, we have to have a recon that goes larger and do as big, as bold as we want it. They got it. And that's why it passed on Tuesday by a blink of an eye. The president had told them, and after agreeing upon the price tag a few weeks ago, to protect my recon, because everything in that recon is checks for the American people. The White House considers the progressive priorities in that the White House's priorities. He had told Schatz, Democrat, progressive, and Jolopal, Democrat, progressive, Washington. And now that the recon has passed, those checks are coming to you. So what is a recon? What is a recon procedural? What is a bipartisan? What is roads and bridges? Let's go over all the details starting right now. We have two bodies of law that we're focusing on, recon and also bipartisan. Two very different bodies of law, and let's start with one at a time. There is the recon, which is your money, also called reconciliation, also called the budget bill, price tag $3.5 trillion. And also called the Progressive Spending Plan and the Democratic Social Reform Plan. Bipartisan, also called Roads and Bridges or Infrastructure, price tag $1.5 trillion. We had 3 bills to do, but the first one is done. The tow truck has passed over the finish line. Recon procedural, done. Now we're on recon substantive, the tow hitch, and we also have bipartisan to do. So what is the difference between recon procedural and recon substantive? Let's go over the details. Very, very simple. Recon procedural and recon substantive ask different questions. Recon procedural agreed to a price tag, $3.5 trillion, and how much to a particular committee. $10 of that committee, $20 this committee. Done. This is now law. So recon substantive now determines, okay, how is a particular committee going to spend the money? Now that committee has $10, how is it going to spend the money? More about that in the final 15 minutes of this video. How do we get to this wonderful spot? From Jolopal, who recently wrote Schumer a letter saying, chuck all the vote. And the letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100 plus, who recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to be putting monthly forced stimulus checks in the forced stimulus recon. Wow, Purple Power, you got to push, because that is great news. Can we top that? Yes. As the House Ways and Means Committee members, 7 of them recently wrote the president a letter saying we're going to put monthly forced stimulus checks in the forced stimulus recon. Yes, the people from the opening remarks of this channel. Now you got to push and make sure they keep their promise. That House Ways and Means say they're giving you a monthly stimulus check, and they say they're writing it in the forced stimulus recon. We had the House bill of $2,000 after the first month, $1,000 thereafter. We have AOC and Omar. We have Wyden and Sanders and Warren. You got to push Purple Power and have them keep their promise. Finally, Biden did it. He got a provision that was confusing out of the recon. And that confusing provision no longer our concern. Making the recon easier to write, easier to call the vote on, and easier to pass, because that confusing thing is not in there. And can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, so much wonderful, wonderful breaking news on this big early morning's broadcast. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people. I'll go over these checks with you and why this is all such wonderful news. And we'll cut to fifth stimulus as well, which raises your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI. But first, if you've gotten one item from this channel, you're ready under forced stimulus. If you haven't, I want you to do it. I want you to get one item, whether it's picking up the phone and getting a utility bill of $200 or $300 because of COVID. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. Rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance because of COVID. When you do that, you're going to be ready for forced stimulus, which is generally application-based because you're going to know the skill set. You've learned from the videos, and you're going to apply it like all the other viewers and Purple Hawks across the board. After that, if you can't get the other sums of money, here's a little bit about the community page. Reach out to them, and they'll help you get that big sum of money. And I'll be back with you as Early Mornings LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now, direct from Santa Monica on a big, bold, beautiful Early Mornings LA from the water. We'll go over that monthly fourth stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people under the fourth stimulus recon. We'll go over what happened with that recon procedural this week and what that means for you. Then we cut to the incredible details of the process for recon substantive, which did not start this week. It's been underway for weeks. Then we'll cut to all the big checks that are for you in this fourth stimulus recon and why Purple Hawks are going to pounce and get big sums of money. And finally, we turn to fifth stimulus as well. But first, subscribe, hit that like button, and consider becoming a member and hit those LALATE alerts so you're part of this channel across the board. Subscribe. 400,000 subscribers to YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. The link's under the video. Stay in this video. It'll take you automatically to overnight's crypto plan on this channel. Let's cut to fifth stimulus. As the president had promised this during the campaign trail, but now they're taking care of it starting in September. This is the raise of your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits. They provisions start the following. Step one, they're going to raise your benefit limits up. Then they'll apply a new asset limit. Then they'll remove the income. Then they'll apply an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the parent marriage penalty. They propose to do this in September, get it to a vote by about November, and away we go. How does this work? Step one. Who does this apply for? You. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, or multiple beneficiaries. Step two, they'll apply a new benchmark. That new benchmark is inflation. Where is inflation going? It's going to be transitory. A temporary spike, yes. When? In December. OMG. Right when they apply our benchmark. Yes, great news. So how high? I'm talking about 5% potentially. So let's go over the analysis. First, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. If the benchmark is 5%, you'll go up another 5%, not just next year, but a lifetime. That means that if the inflation rate is 2% the year after that, you'll be plus 2, plus 5%. They're going to move the asset cap dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 on hand. It's going to go away. And they're going to move the income cap dating back to a 1960 law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. And love is going to win, and you'll be able to do a pair dance at your own wedding like Rob and Sandy. No longer fear loss of benefits, and have your benefits restored if they were canceled. Meantime, will there be a fifth stimulus check? There will be. And finally, if you haven't become a member, what are you doing? If you look at the live chat and you look at the people in the live chat who are Purple Hawks, you need to join. The link to become a Purple Hawk is underneath this video. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Daily, I deliver to only my members a breakdown of the big money under first, second, and third stimulus. Purple Hawk, Purple Powers, and Casino VIPs get a breakdown of all this money because guess what? This is where the big payouts is. When third stimulus was passed earlier this year, $1,400, I said, sure, $1,400. I don't want you to be focused on that because it's going to land. I can get you $14,000 under third stimulus. And then suddenly Purple Hawk starts swirling. And then they pounced. And you've seen this video. Purple Hawks getting 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. That sure ain't $1,400 check. That's a lot more money. Add a couple more zeros to that. A Lorraine getting $105,000. That's a lot more zeros than $1,400. Purple Hawks understand that these stimulus packages have a lot of money in there, and they are ready to get the sums of money that are in there in addition to the stimulus check. So consider becoming a Purple Hawk today so you get all the information, and it's delivered to you daily from me. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now with the 4 stimulus recon. Done deal. Done. Wow. 4 stimulus recon procedural has now passed. It passed on Tuesday. Let's go over everything you need to know starting right now. A few weeks ago, I said to you that the recon procedural passed the Senate, and I said it was going to the House. And I said that's going to pass the House in a blink of the eye because the Democrats had already agreed upon this before they started. I'd read that the Democratic leadership, House and Senate, had met with the president before they started the recon to agree upon the price tag and agree to pass the recon when they called for a vote. So calling for a vote was just ceremonial. They already agreed upon the price tag. And that's why it passed in a blink of an eye. I had told you in the weeks ago that Leader Hoyer, he's the majority leader of the House, had ordered the House members back into session for August 23rd, Monday, and that they would start voting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They did come back on Monday, and they did start voting on at 6 p.m. Within 24 hours, not even 8 hours, they passed the recon procedural. Done deal. That was exactly as reported and predicted from this channel. Let me tell you what this means for you. Number one, the recon's done. It's done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people. It's all checks for you. So the only thing that's left is how they are spending the $3.5 trillion of checks on you. And that's called recon substantive. Now, recon substantive did not just start this week, did not just start today, did not just start yesterday. Recon substantive has been the work of the House members for weeks and months. That's why you hear me talking about it back in June. They've been writing this recon substantive since that time. Let's go over the recon procedure and recon substantive starting right now. So they agreed and passed into law recon substantive this Tuesday. Price tag $3.5 trillion and how much is given to each committees. Now recon substantive determines how to spend the money. All right, so how do they spend the money? Well, we don't have the bill yet, but there are proposals of what the money should be spent on. And here's one of the proposals. Free school meals for all, checks, tax break checks, cheaper prescription medication checks, lots of checks for farming, checks for free internet, lots of checks for seniors and workers, checks for independent contractors, checks for seniors, lowering the eligibility age, checks for dental, checks for vision, and checks for hearing care. All right, great news across the board. So when we look at this recon, here's something I want to slow down, make it very clear for you. So $3.5 trillion of checks. Number one, guaranteed. Number two, for you, guaranteed. And number three, generally application-based. I love my Purple Hawks. I'm already getting messages from Purple Hawks saying, I want to know where to apply for that dental check. I love that for reasons. First, it shows Purple Hawk spirit, ready to apply before it's not law yet. Not law yet. But also the person says apply because the person understands IRS doesn't send checks for dental or vision. Here's what you need to know, is that all these previous stimulus packages, first, second, and third, were generally where you picked up the phone and called. First, second, and third were generally where you picked up the phone or went to a website. PBT, you picked up the phone and increased it. PPP, picked up the phone. PUA, picked up a phone or went to a website. Or EIDL. And that's much the same for recon number 4. IRS doesn't send out checks for your dental. They don't send out checks for your vision. Checks for your dental will be in one place. Checks for your vision will be somewhere else. As I always laugh, you do not want the person who has your checks for your teeth to be the person who's doing your internet. Because you certainly don't want the person doing your teeth doing your internet, or vice versa. And I love that Purple Hawks are ready to pounce. All right, so now what's important to understand is that the recon procedural, now that passed, puts us in the scope of the recon substantive. But the recon substantive did not just start this week. They've been working on this for weeks and weeks and weeks. But what's important for you to understand is you need to push. A lot of people have promised to, on top of the $3.5 trillion, on top of that, or included in that, to put stimulus checks. And that is in addition to these other checks across the board. So you got to push purple power because now is the time and place. But that is why I brought back seats for stimulus. Seats for stimulus basically says, okay, I got it. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people. I got it. It's law. But you need to spend the money the right way. Spend the money the right way. That's hashtag seats for stimulus. Go on social media. Tag your elected officials. Say, hey, you need to spend the money right way. And guess what? On the House floor on Monday, they talked about us. They said, there's a lot of people up for re-election in November. We need to do the right thing. So they're clearly getting the message. Tag these elected officials with these videos, hashtag seats for stimulus, and say, you need to spend the money right way. 6 House seats are up for grabs in the next few weeks. The Senate seats are not till next year. So the 6 House seats could determine how Republican or how Democratic the House goes. What was that secret meeting the president had? Let me go over that as well. In those proposed items, which I went over just a second ago, I talked about number 3, which was cheaper prescription medication. Well, the president told his Democratic caucus, put that front and center when you talk about this because Americans will love it. And I think that's brilliant. I'll show you why. The cheaper prescription medication approach is basically the following. You go to the pharmacist on Monday, you pay $50 for something. Then they make this law on Tuesday. You come back Wednesday for a refill, and suddenly it's $10. It dropped $40. They're saving you $40. You have $40 extra in your bank account. How do they do this? Basically, the federal government has agreed upon rates with certain pharmaceutical manufacturers for things like Medicare. And they would basically slash those prices with this law. So suddenly something that cost you $50 before it's law, the next day, literally the next day, it would be slashed in price. An immediate benefit in your bank account. I think it's brilliant. I think it really, really is brilliant. Now, let's go over recon substantive. Recon substantive is really very fundamental, but it's important to understand the difference between recon procedural and recon substantive. Let's back it up and slow it down. Recon procedural now means that a recon is going to be done, guaranteed, and that it's $3.5 trillion, guaranteed, and the $3.5 trillion of checks is on you, guaranteed. The only thing that left, however, is who is the you. Is the person or the term for, or the terms and conditions is really the issue. For example, I'm going to give you $10, but I'm going to give it to you in 9 months from now, or I'm going to give $2 to this person, but $4 to that person. So the terms of the conditions are still at issue. So you need to push purple power across the board. Meantime, here is a personal message because I'm very observant. I've been doing this for now a year, and you're very smart and you're very observant. And yesterday, 2 days ago, I did a live chat with you, and it was a lot of fun. Q&A, question and answer, live in Malibu in front of the water. And one viewer said, is there any of us that don't qualify for these things? There's always that possibility, but generally the people who don't qualify for things are people who make over 6 figures. So if you make a lot of money, you generally don't qualify. If you don't make money, you generally do qualify. So SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, you generally do qualify. In January of last year, when third stimulus became a law, it took a whole effort for me to say, hey, you're going to qualify for rent, utilities, food, and internet. People said, what? What is this thing? Now you see that it's not hard for me to explain that anymore because now people realize, oh my goodness, this is a lot of money. So if you've done one item with this channel, you're going to pounce really well as a Purple Hawk on the other items. But I learn sometimes by looking at things. And I saw something yesterday which was very, very fascinating. And over the last year, I see different things, and sometimes I realize from something. And in the last maybe 10 days, 12 days, there have been a certain type of person, troll, that wants a certain fake narrative. But I never put the apples, I never lined them up and put them together to realize, oh, they look also the same. The fake narratives all look the same until yesterday. And then I looked at them together and I realized, oh, they all basically lead in the same direction, which is the president of the United States is never going to give you anything. I never realized that. Let me show you why. This is where the fake narrative has gone for certain people that sort of want you to believe their false alternate universe. Their false alternate universe started about a week ago, where they said the Democrats are not coming back into town until September. Not true. Steny Hoyer, the majority leader of the House, had ordered them all back into town in a published press release saying August 23rd, you're back into town, you start voting at 6 o'clock at night. Well, the false narratives people said, no, the Democrats don't care about you. They're out of town since September. And notice the don't care about you part? Yeah. So they were back into town on August 23rd. So then the false narrative had to come up with a new one. Oh, they're back into town, but they're not going to vote on anything this week. No, they're on the House floor voting right now. At 6 o'clock, starting on the evening of Monday, the 23rd, they started voting on the House floor. Then the false narrative had to change. Well, they're voting on something, but they're not going to get it finished till September. They're not going to get finished the voting until October. No, they're calling the vote right now. So then I would have thought, that when the recon procedural vote passed on Tuesday afternoon, the fake narrative would have stopped. Because at this point, they've been disproven 3 times in a row. They're not in town, they're not coming back, they're not voting, and then it's all over C-SPAN. It's passed. The recon is passed. No, the fake narrative wanted to try something new. Okay, so what? It passed. Now the recon substantive is going to take 5 weeks, 10 weeks, 20 weeks, 30 weeks, next year, 50 years. You're never going to get money. Suddenly at that point, I realized, oh, this is all lining up. This is all lined up. First, Democrats don't care. They're on vacation. They're not coming back. Democrats aren't in town. They're not voting. Democrats are in town. They are voting, but they're not voting for you. Oh, they finished that first voting. They're not going to vote on the next thing. They're never going to vote on anything. You're never going to get anything. They're never going to finish. They're never going to be anywhere. They're going to be gone. You see it? I didn't see it. I never realized it. And it's very funny. It's very funny. Because, we're sitting back and we're looking at Steny Hoyer's comment saying, you're back in town on the 23rd. And then they're back in town. Then the narrative is saying, they're not there. Yeah, they are there. That's not cardboard cutouts of them. That's actually real people on the House floor. They're not voting. What do you think they're doing? Having lasagna? They're not voting on us. They're voting on something else. What do you think they're voting on? Russia? Then when it passed, it didn't pass. It was just sort of, it was just parcheesi. What do you mean parcheesi? They were playing backgammon. They weren't voting on anything. Oh, okay. Then once it passed, then they had to come up with something. Darn it, I got to come up with something new. Okay, now that recon procedural passed, they're not going to get to recon substantive for 20 years. And at that point, America will be sold to Russia. It's just, okay, let's try something else now. So the new fake narrative is that nothing is ever coming to anyone. Goodbye. So, needless to say, reason I bring this up to you is not to give them time or surface, because they really do not need airtime, but is to show you that I now realize that there's some people that really wish you to think that Joseph Biden will never give you anything. And it's very unfortunate because this channel is not partisan. This channel has been purple power. This is not Republican or Democrat. This is about getting you money. And some people really now, I see, had a political agenda, which was to tell people Democrats don't give you any money. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, those are not cardboard cutouts on the House floor on Monday. So there you go. Meantime, the best way to know when there's a real people on the floor and they're not playing parcheesi is to sign up for the LALATE alerts. The LALATE alerts is at news.lalate.com/alerts. And the link is in the video to this channel, comments, and the pinned comment, and also in the description. It's at news.lalate.com/alerts. When you sign up, it'll send you to the news LALATE.com, and you'll put in your name and email address. Then watch for the confirmation email. It comes sometimes your spam folder. It may go into your promotions folder if you're on Gmail. If you don't see it, or you think you did something wrong, you start all over again. When you get it, it looks like this. This is the confirmation email. Click the blue button. Do not respond to the email saying, I love you. I saw you on Leno. No, you click the blue button. And then when you click the blue button, it says, thank you. Thank you for signing up for LA Alerts. And then you get an alert that looks like this. It's the talk of the town. Thousands of you have signed up, and I encourage you, the rest of you, to sign up as well. It's a beautiful day with so much happening across the board. So let's recap, because we've done a lot in this video. Number one, recon done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people. Now we're on to recon substantive, which we are not starting today or this week. We've been writing this, not we, they've been writing this for months. And that recon substantive is now the tow hitch. The tow truck has passed over the finish line. Now the tow hitch. Nothing to derail it. away we go. Then it's important to push this purple power to make sure they write the recon substantive as well correctly. $3.5 trillion of checks are confirmed in there for you, but you want to push to ensure that they put stimulus checks in there as well. Everyone from AOC to Warren and Sanders has said put it in there, so make sure they do what they promise. And meantime, continue to push, and boy, the big numbers for rent, utilities, and food and internet can keep on going higher and higher. Stay in this video, will automatically take you into overnight's crypto playing on this channel, and then I'll see you live on air at 9 a.m. with Mornings LA. So subscribe, 400,000 subscribers on YouTube, reckon I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful morning, and stay with LA for more.